Hello, it's me again. Thank you for watching this clip. Yeah, I've just thought today I would discuss on race. I thought I would do it today. Normally I was planning to do it on the weekend, but on the weekend I might be quite a bit busy, so I thought I'd get it done today, and then my next one will be next week. Okay. Basically today I thought I'll talk about racism, race, and blacks. I think you can see the title to my video. It basically shows what it is. Now, just before I go into that, I just want to say this month, no, actually the previous month, November, I'm a bit late on it, was the 20th year anniversary of me being in the UK. 20 years I've been here in the UK. I remember the day I came in my little suit, sort of cream suit, when I came to the UK. And to be honest with you, when I came, it was quite a big thing to come to the UK, to fly on a plane, you know what I mean? But it was the grace of God, and due to the generosity of my auntie. But it's been 20 years I've been in this country, and I've grown up in this country, because I came when I was quite young, 8 years old. And what I can say definitely is that it's been pretty good. I've had challenges in this country. Me and my mum have faced it, you know, being an only child, fatherless. My father wasn't there, you know, but it's generally been quite good. Britain is not perfect, but it's a good country. And if you went to some other countries, where I know even where I come from, yeah, you would appreciate how good Britain is. You know, freedom of speech, the opportunities, the myriad of opportunities in this country, the opportunities you got in this country. I've made mistakes, you know, personally. You know, you grow up, you know, like I said before, I faced challenges, but this country is a good country. Yeah, it's not a bad country. It is generally a good country. It does have its faults, it does have its negatives, but generally it's a good country. All right. Most of us couldn't live in a lot of those other countries in the world out there. So, you know, 20 years anniversary of me being in the UK, and it's been good. It's been good. I've had to do a lot of growing up though, but it's been good. Basically, I wanted to talk as well now about racism. And, you know, we live in a culture where there's a lot of hype about racism. What racism is, racism going on, and especially the thing as well with stuff like going on in America with police shootings and all that, and police shooting people. You know, there's a lot of feelings about racism. And one thing I want to say, what racism is, essentially, when it comes down to it, is hate. Right? It is hate. Right? So for example, if two black people hate each other, or two white people hate each other, it's still just as bad. It's hate. It's hate, and it's hate that's not good. Okay? Hatred at the end of the day is a lot of energy wasted. If you hate somebody, and whenever you see them you start, and your blood starts boiling, that's a lot of energy you're using physically. Your body's only imitating your emotional energy, but really it is a lot of energy that you're using up, and it can affect your health and so on. But racism, essentially, what we need to understand, you can't identify yourself by your skin color and make that be the core of who you are. Race can't be what defines you, because let me tell you something. What's going to happen, whether you believe in God or not, what's going to happen is you're going to end up 6 foot under. Your body is going to end up 6 foot under, and that skin color, whether it be white, whether it be Asian skin, black skin, yellow skin, you know, whatever color you want to call that skin, it's going to rot away. It's going to go to dust. And you're going to be thinking, you know what, all this hype about my color of skin and stuff like that, and look, it's just going to end. A lot of wasted energy. And you know, there's much more to life than just skin color. You know, what lives on is the spirit, the soul of a person. It's not the skin color. So we can't be hung up on skin color and be like, that's who I am. It's not. You know, when it's summer, I actually go darker. You know, winter, I'm not as dark. You see what I'm saying? You know, white people is the same. You know, you go out on when it's hot, it's tan. You know, get a bit darker or whatever, and you know, at the end of the day, it's just skin. It doesn't define who you are. What defines who you are is the heart of a person. You see what I'm saying? What I'm saying is we can't allow ourselves to be caught up in this whole racism thing and let that, you know. And it sometimes it's very small. You know what I mean? Like, my identity is not found in being black. And your identity shouldn't be found in being white if you are white. That's the reality, because it starts bringing up ideas of differences with other people that are not even important. And I know there's a guy on YouTube who's done a video about skin color. What's that about? That's not really important. So, you know, I really do think we need to leave like, you know, the racism thing aside in a sense, personally, and really what it is hate. And I know it's not easy because there's a lot of people that are frustrating in life, a lot of things that are frustrating, but it's a lot of energy. And the worst thing about hate, it's not even just that person you hate, you want them to think, it's actually eating you up. Racism at the end of the day is hate. And if I hate another black man, you know, if I hate, it's just as bad as me hating a white man. Vice versa, if two white people hate each other, it's just as bad. Do you know what I mean? It's hate at the end of the day. To God, it's hate. We call it racism, race crime, this crime, that crime, you know what I mean, sex crime, all that. At the end of the day, it's still hate. And it could be, you know, we call it whatever they classify it, whatever the issue is. Hate is a lot of energy that you use. And if you're holding a grudge against somebody, whether they're the same skin color or not, you know, you want to think, why am I using a lot of my energy? Emotional energy, physical energy. A lot of people, cancers, sickness is coming upon them because they have hate. Because the energy they're using to hate somebody is taking a toll emotionally. It's ripping them apart inside to the point that even their body starts suffering. At the end of the day, so you wake up and think, do I really want to use that hate? You know, do I really want to use that energy? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Last thing, now this might come across quite controversial because I'm going to be talking specifically in a slant addressed to people who have black skin, black people, okay? I want to just warn black people, and I'm going to be very honest with you, be careful that you do not put yourself in a trap, in a box, where you're stuck, yeah, thinking the whole world is against you just because you're black. You know, sometimes Snoop Dogg came out, he released a video that went viral this year. And he said he's sick and tired of Hollywood pumping movies about slavery, black people going through slavery, history and all that. Snoop Dogg came out and said that. Recently, Lil Wayne had an interview where the interviewer was trying to say, have you experienced racism? Lil Wayne. And Lil Wayne's like, no, I haven't experienced racism. He said, yes, there probably is racism out there. He acknowledges there is racism, but he's saying him personally, he hasn't experienced it. Now, I'm not saying black people out there haven't gone through racism. And I'm not even saying I haven't gone through. I've faced racism in my life. Question is, even if there is racism, if there isn't, don't make a big deal about it. And that's where we've got to be careful, because sometimes, you know, we can think things are racist and they're not. Maybe we're just misunderstanding. Maybe we're not applying ourselves well. But, you know, there's no point. Even if there is racism, how do you deal with it? How do we overcome it? How do we get past it? How do you accomplish what you need to do and walk above it as a black person? Because let me tell you something, if you're not careful, especially with the liberal media, yeah, they will make you think that black people are the only ones that have gone through slavery, only ones that have gone through oppression. Okay, there's two things with that. The Irish, yes, the white man, the Irish man, he went through that. at the same time as when black people, a lot of them were not allowed in restaurants or in the same places as white people in America, a lot of Irish people were not allowed. They were told no entry for Irish. We don't like the Irish man. The Irish people went through a potato famine, oppressed by the British people. So, not just the Irish, the Indians, you see Indian man, they went through slavery, colonization by the British and all that. But how are they dealing with it? When you see Indians in this country or in the West, how do you deal with it? That's the question. Well, now, you can say my history is colonization. To be honest, as a Christian, your history is Christ. First of all. So your history is not even in the skin color. 1. 2. I've seen people post things up about, they brought me here, they brought us here. Nobody brought you here. Yes, they brought ancestors here, but nobody brought you essentially here. Do you see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, okay, history's there, things happen. At the end of the day, you're here. So, you weren't a slave. I wasn't born in slavery. I wasn't born in colonized Africa. So I can't go there. I can't talk like, oh, I've been through slavery and colonization and act like that's my worldview now. We've gone through this. No, I haven't gone through it. Yes, black people have gone through it in the past, but I haven't gone through it. So I can't let that be the defining factor in my life. And I can't now see a 10-year-old white boy and be like, you oppressed me. Oh, you did this to me. No, he didn't. He's a kid. Come on, let's not lose common sense. And if you want to be honest, there were white slaves that used to be traded as well. I'm just using, yeah, they used to be. The Arab man used to take white slaves in the Mediterranean area and all that area. They used to take white slaves. So black people have been slaves. White people, they've had their own, when the Romans were in charge, they traded many slaves of many colors. White people were part of that slavery. And I'm reminded of Joseph from the Bible. He was a slave. He was traded as a slave. He was in a market. And in the slave market, especially back then in the Egyptian era, they would be naked. They would be naked and no sense of dignity. But you see, we don't see the victimhood of Joseph really in the Bible when you read it. Joseph just gets on with life and he succeeds and he becomes a prime minister of Egypt. And even though, you got Obama, and I have a lot of disagreements with Obama, you know what? He succeeded and became president of America. So that speaks to, okay, racism is there, but really, can we not, really just move forward in life, deal with things, handle things, accomplish things? We can't be trapped in this idea of just slavery. See, Joseph didn't have a victimhood mentality. He just kept on going. He kept on succeeding. To the point where even his slave masters were like, you know what? I'm going to put everything I got in your hand. So even if you feel like, oppressed or whatever, it doesn't change your attitude. Determines your altitude. I've heard that before, and it does. It's how you deal with the situation. Now, I'm not saying there isn't any racism, but I'm saying is I can't let that be the defining factor of how I live life. Now, I want to be very clear. How do we expect to succeed? And this goes for everyone, not just black people, white people, everyone. But I know I'm addressing sort of black people, but what I'm trying to say is we live in a culture where you have to prove yourself, where you can manage things. Now, I've been to many interviews for different jobs. I've done, now, if I haven't been successful in an interview, I can't just be, oh, they were racist, or they didn't want the black man. Hold on. Even if they were racist, does that mean I stop living life? Does that mean I stop moving forward? Does that mean I stop loving people? Especially as a Christian, does that mean I stop loving people? Do you see what I'm saying? You gotta keep going. And one thing I want to say is, especially to black people, I need you to understand this. Now, I'm not saying there isn't any racism. There is possibly. There is in many areas. and in some areas it isn't. But what I'm saying is, the way to deal with racism is that you succeed and you achieve and you overcome. How? You accomplish. One of the best examples is sport, football, rugby, or basketball, whatever. You know, Hamilton, F1. Hamilton didn't get where he is because he's black. Hamilton got where he is because he is a good driver. Usain Bolt, he doesn't get all these, like Virgin Media adverts, being the main guy for Virgin Media and the adverts and all that because he's black. No, he got there because he succeeded at being the fastest man in the world. He had to push himself. And that is in sport. That is in sport. You have to push yourself. And it's the same thing in every other area of life, whether it be business, whether it be education, whether it be school, whether it even be woodwork, construction, whatever you do, put your hands to, your mind to, you have to work hard. And let me tell you something, you are push yourself. You're going to have to push yourself in life. Even if you're not going to go uni, you can't get around the fact that you still have to work hard in life. That's what I've come to realize. Because I haven't gone uni, but it does not mean I don't work hard in life. You still gotta work hard, man. You gotta work your socks off. And when you succeed and you outdo and outcompete, even if they call you monkey because you're black, it doesn't matter. The monkey is the one who's above you. So what does that say about you? That's what I'm saying. So the best way to deal with racism, especially if you're black or any other color or whatever, is you outcompete, you outdo. It's a competitive world. And I'm not going to lie to you. And I'm not saying you have to use the world's idea of competition and being nasty and mean and all that to, dog eat dog. It's not that kind of mentality. God can raise you above that. But you have to have a mentality. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to push myself. I'm going to outdo. And I'm going to succeed. Because at the end of the day, when you succeed, and let's say you're employing people, if that person wants to be a racist, hey, I'm the one who pays you, who puts food on your table. Does that make sense? That's the way it is. You have to outdo. We live in that world. And even if they are racist, when you outdo them, outcompete them, they're forced to recognize, listen, I maybe had the wrong idea about this person. But the wrong way to go about it is, oh, you're just racist. They don't want to. Look, life doesn't revolve around your skin color. There are deeper things in life. And at the end of the day, you got to prove yourself out there. You got to prove yourself. And that's the end of the day. And this is where I bring God into it, is that God is backing you up. He wants you to succeed. And that's where your belief in Him connects. He backs you up and He wants you to succeed. And you get Joseph, a Hebrew amongst the Egyptians. So you could say there was racism there. You could say, the Egyptians didn't like the Hebrews. They had them as slaves and all that. But you know what? That slave boy ended up the prime minister of the country. And it wasn't through victimhood and victim mentality. You know what I mean? It wasn't through victimhood and victim mentality. So, yeah, I'll just leave it there. But it's just real talk about racism and not carrying hate around in your heart and just letting go, letting be, and just pushing yourself and succeeding in life. You're going to face challenges. I face challenges. We all face challenges. They're going to be serious challenges. But you can rest assured and know and believe and trust that God is on your side. Jesus Christ is on your side. And, He's backing you up. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. And keep out for a video next week. Thank you.